He's absolutely off. He's had enough. And I don't blame him. No save has made me want to rage quit as much as this. Luca has been found, but he's nodded over the bar. In fairness, Pope was right in his face. How do, and welcome back to the evolution of Everton. I can categorically say no save has made me want to rage quit as much as this. Honestly, these last few weeks have been an absolute nightmare whilst you've been away. Let me get into it. First point of order, Karen can't balance the books. She's completely removed all the money we brought in from the Joe Willock sale, completely slashed our wage budget, all on the basis that despite Champions League money, despite decent TV money, despite the position we finished in with the prize money last season, we are still losing money hand over fist. I'm doing a great job at reducing this, but these loans are absolute killers. They really are, and they've completely removed any kind of hope we've got for a January window. So that's happened in the gap. So that was the tipping point for me. That was when I saved, because I was done. I nearly didn't save scumming at its very best, but I didn't. I carried on, despite the fact that Karen's done what Karen's done. From a scheduling perspective, you were with us for the Barcelona game, which was a tremendous result, right? We then travelled to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and got absolutely battered. Kuna came off with a broken foot. He's now out for 3 months. And then after that, they absolutely battered us. And then it was topped off with Gendry getting sent off in the 89th minute. So that was great. But then, glimmers of hope, right? We beat City at home. And we beat them well. We deserved what we got. Yes, Pickford had a good game, but actually we played really well. Roy specifically had an absolute stormer of a game, and we'll take that 3 points. So we've lost at Spurs, where maybe you could argue we should be thinking maybe about a draw. We wouldn't have thought we'd beat City. We did. But then we go up to Hampden. Hampden? That's right, isn't it? Celtic Park, I'm pretty sure it's Hampden. And we got beat. We got beat 5-4, and we were getting tated. We only pulled that back in the second half. It was really, really poor from us, really poor. And Pickford was absolutely bobbins. So I gave him another chance. We travelled to Chelsea. We were bobbins. Again, we were truly poor, and we got battered 4-2. And it was a battering. You can see from the ratings, no one had a particularly good game. The only pleasing thing was Kai George managed to get on the score sheet, but that was in the dying embers of the game. So again, really poor result. Liverpool, I've changed keeper. Actually, it was fairly tight. It could have gone either way. It was one of those games, but we did lose 1-0 in the end. And then we travelled to Bournemouth and we managed to keep a clean sheet, which hopefully is a transitional moment for us, and we drew 0-0. But we really should be beating Bournemouth. All in all, we've absolutely plummeted down to 7th. So far from ideal. Far from ideal from where we were when you last joined us. I appreciate that, but we are well and truly on the struggle bus, financially and in terms of form. But let's try and remain positive. Right, it's an evolutionary journey. It's not a sprint, right? It's going to take a little bit of time, and we've got to try and look at it like that. Today, we're going to take on Copenhagen, and we're going to take on Newcastle, both at home, both at Bramley-Moore Dock, and hopefully we're going to start to see these reds and oranges turn back to greens. Fingers crossed. When you next join me, we'll be in the dressing room. Welcome back. Here we are. The lineup will be familiar. There'll be no real changes for you to notice, other than the fact that I'm sticking with Noppert in goal. Clearly Pickford's having a bit of a dip in form, and therefore he's been dropped out, and that's going to stay that way until things change from a Noppert perspective, to be perfectly honest. But other than that one, Dorgu wide left, Branthwaite and O'Brien, Gendry on the right hand side, Garner is in his familiar position because Kone's not registered for the Champions League, Rangers and Gibbs White, fine. Ryan Rodriguez with Luca up top, and that's how we're going to go about it. You can see we're tired, and we really are, and it's only the beginning of December. You know, this 4 competition stuff is really starting to come back to potentially bite us. But we've got a deep enough bench because I've brought in some kids. We've got Marvin Weeks on there, Finlay Davis, Ryan Quinn, and obviously Stan Mills as well, who, whilst they're tired, they are bodies in case we do need to make emergency changes. But we've got a big game here. It will mean money, which Karen needs, but also it will enable us to try and kick on a little bit and try and guarantee at least a playoff position. Again, it's very early, but you know we've not had the best of seasons in the Champions League so far. Right, let's get underway. Let's try and be positive about it. I don't think they have, but we'll say that. I don't think the media have been very positive about us at all, in all honesty. But if Mr. Kyle says they have, then they have. Bert, how can I help you? Both teams come into this in a poor spell of form. You're right. We've got to show we want it more than they do, Bert. That's the reality of this. If we play to the levels we know we're capable of, we'll be fine, Bert. And are you hopeful that changing playing style? We've not changed our playing style, so we need to be harder to play against. Champions League music. If that doesn't get me going, I don't know what will. Solid lineup. Again, I'm not displeased with our team. I'm really not. It's just one of those dips in form that everybody gets on Football Manager, but it's really sent me west with what we've been trying to do. Let's hope we can do something today and really reinvigorate some positivity in our gameplay. As the match is underway, let's see what we can do. I've not had any feedback on the proposed new save that I talked about. If you're not interested, that's okay. I might just do it anyway, and like I said, do it in my own time. Depends how long we're going to run this Everton save for, as to whether I use that idea of mine as a go-to for the YouTube series. Try again. Series. Yeah, maybe we will, maybe we won't. Copenhagen free kick boxed. He went for the far post, but Noppert had that covered, in fairness. He's absolutely a unit, isn't he? So his frame more than covered that goal. But we have had absolutely none of this other than having the lion's share of the ball. Half-time, nothing to speak of. And this is what I'm talking about. We haven't taken nearly enough shots, is what I'm going to say to the lads. Get out there and show me something different. They were approaching their absolute limits. Look at them. I'm going to send Kai George on because he's got an engine and he can maybe do a bit for us. See if that changes anything. 60 minutes and nothing. Absolutely nothing to speak of. Corner. Gibbs White. Can he find anybody? No. Back out to Dorgu. Can we box? We've got our centre halves in there still. He's found Gibbs White. Back out to Jake O'Brien as a centre halves now retreat. Roy hits the corners. He's found Kai George at an awful angle. Roy, get a shot off, son. He has done, and Trot grasps. I'm having an absolute nightmare. Trot grasps that in midair. Ritov played forward to Vivaro, found Falk. Cornelius is through, pushed wide by Noppert. Really well done. He got his massive frame down nice and quickly. Corner though, Elianusi looking to box with an in-swinger. Does so. Cornelius wins the header, but it goes wide, and we'll take that. We're approaching 70 minutes, so we're going to make a couple of changes now because everybody is knackered. And we've got Newcastle to think of, which is absolutely terrifying right now, I've got to say. Wants to say, what injury? What injury? What injury is affecting you, son? Because I didn't even know you were injured. We're going to send Stan Mills on because that's literally what we've got by the looks of things. In terms of our depth, we are absolutely struggling. You're nervous. Why are you nervous, son? Why are you nervous? Why are we all nervous? I don't really understand what's happening. The lads have really dropped off in confidence, and it's a real problem for us as we make 3 changes to try and reinvigorate things. But again, Copenhagen highlight? No, is it? Loddy wins it. Inside to Dorgu, Dewsbury Hall with a nice triangle. Played forward, but it's a really sloppy pass. You can't expect George to get there, and he doesn't. Huskus is through. He's squared, and he's found Con. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. We are truly, truly suffering. We really are. That is really poor from us, as Dewsbury Hall plays a ball to nothing, and Copenhagen capitalise. Inside, by the way, somebody makes an absolutely massive run over here. I don't know what this is. Dorgu is absolutely off. He's had enough. He's had enough, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him because I have too. This is absolutely woeful. Absolutely woeful. 24th in the Champions League. Truly poor. Demand more. It's not going to make a massive amount of difference at this stage, I don't imagine. Dorgu shot off. He's managed to score, the lad. He's dragged us out the doldrums because he'd had enough. He was furious. It was like that Rooney volley. Fed up with absolutely everything. Just leather the thing. And he does so from the edge of the box and finds the bottom corner superbly well. Trott could not get there for that one. And we've pulled ourselves back remarkably. Doesn't do a lot to the whole league position, but currently it's better than a loss. Having said that, why did you say that out loud, Carl? No idea. Copenhagen on the ball, looking to press. All of our bodies are behind the ball. Kai George is doing the doggies. Really well done, son. We're pressing him out. Can we gain our yards back? We're stepping. He's got him behind there. Larsson's through. Larsson's found the bottom corner, and it's going to count. It's honestly like schoolboy football, some of this. It really is. Look at us in bunches, and then all of a sudden we let him go. He's only just realised he's gone in behind him, and he slots really well. You can't blame Noppert for that, I'm afraid. It's gone into the far post. We've just not tracked our runners. And it's really, really poor from us. So demoralising, this save right now. I understand how Sean Dyche felt now. This is poor. Thrash arms, not good enough. Get out of my sight. I won't want to elaborate. No, we didn't do the things that we're meant to do, Scott. So that's the way that goes. I don't believe losing like that was an unfair reflection of the game. I don't think it was. I think ultimately they had far more chances. They had far more opportunities to score than we did. And ultimately, we're miles off it. Bruce Shin. Yes, I was furious, Roy. You're absolutely right. Who were you watching? Dorgu and Delaney. Well, Dorgu played really well for you, so I'm pleased for that at least. Right, you're going to join me when we take on Newcastle. Deep breaths. Here we go again. Right, we're now going to take on Newcastle with newly appointed Thomas Frank as their manager. The starting lineup isn't really going to change. Obviously, the bench will change because we have to drop out a few players. Kone's going to come back into the squad so he can come in and at least keep things fresh for us. But other than that, we're going to stick with what we know. We're going to do what we can try and do. And all being well, we're going to try and get 3 points on the board because otherwise, I am not convinced I've got the strength in me to keep doing this save with this team. It is doing my Sweden. Absolutely. Kyle's quite pleased with what we've got out there. I'm pleased for him. I'm terrified. But let's see. Let's see what we can do, right? I'm going to say again, I don't believe what I'm saying to these lads at all, which is not great. Sometimes the team talk marries up with what's actually going on, doesn't it? But in this instance, it's absolutely not doing. It wasn't good enough for Remain. You're absolutely right. And we need to find another gear, if I'm honest. Yeah, Thomas is a lovely guy. I'm delighted for him. I know we're going to find it hard, I'm sure. We're always up for a challenge. We're always up for a challenge here at Blandby. Look at that. Loss, draw, loss. Appallingly bad. The fans would be going in on me, and rightly so. But little do they know that Karen is absolutely killing me behind the scenes. Rainier, Rodriguez, beats his man really well. Back to Rainier. Luca, penalty ref. It looks like it's going to be. It looked like it was a nailed-on penalty, if I'm honest. I think Rodriguez is going to step up to take this, which will fill me with fear because he likes to miss one just as often as he likes to score one. But nonetheless, stats-wise, he is the man. Let's see if it is him. It is Rodriguez from the spot against Pope, and he slotted. He sent Pope the wrong way. What were you scared about, Carl? Absolutely nothing. No reason to be worried whatsoever. 1-0 up. Here we go. The comeback is on. Right. Okay. Let's stay calm. 55% possession. We're doing okay in terms of shots on target. We're on the ball again. Can we make Newcastle pay? Hopefully, Dorgu, again, booking, by the way. Rodriguez beats his man, looking to hit the byline and does so. Stands one up to try and find Luca, and Luca has been found, but he's nodded over the bar. In fairness, Pope was right in his face. So it was a challenging header to make, but he was brave enough to go and do it. Dorgu clipped for Rodriguez. Again, beats his man, stands one up for Luca. Luca wins it, and this time he's beat Pope with his head. It drops into the bottom corner, and Rodriguez has been an absolute monster on that left-hand side. Superb. Doggy fires this one at him as well, by the way. Deal with that. And he says, no problem. No problem. I'll skin my man and I'll stand one up for Luke's. And in he goes. This time, diving down to his left-hand side. Pope cannot keep it out. And we are 2-0 up in 20 minutes. Which is exactly what you need to see after such a poor performance midweek. Half an hour on the clock then. I tell you what, I don't know how I kept going. I don't know how I kept going. It's a corner. We've got another opportunity. Can we get 3? Gibbs White looking for a tall centre-half if he can, or Luca. Roy's going to pick it up and drives at his man and does really well, and then he fires over. He got giddy. It was on his right foot, so you'd probably back him to do better. Yeah, it's been challenging. We all have them moments in these saves, though, don't we? It's the nature of this game. It's why we love it and hate it in equal measure. There we go, half time, and the lads come in. They've done very, very well. We've had lots of shots on target. I'm pleased with that. I'm going to send the same team out, but I'm going to make changes at the hour mark. Again, lads are tired. They need some rest, and that's completely understandable. I'll do my best to give it to them as soon as I can physically do it. But if they score, I'm going to be worried again. Rangers finds a gap, though, for Rodriguez. Again, attacking his man. Driving into the box. He's in the penalty area. He's gone back out, though, and he's found Dog, who's boxed. Gibbs White sat there, but he's not going to find him. And Duarte carries out for Newcastle. But Gendry steps. Rodriguez again. Find the corners. And he does so. He is having the game of his life, by the way. Superb to see him step up and grab a game by the scruff of the neck. He's got loads of quality. And I worried when Kuna came in that might be the end of him. But he stood up to it really well. Look at him driving at his man. And then finds corners. Yeah, love that. 3-0. As we approach the hour mark, I will make some changes now to try and protect the lads, because there's a few of them out there that are absolutely dead on their feet. We'll deal with his free kick, and then we'll do it. Doggy with an in-swinging left-footed free kick. Box looking for Luca, finds him, and Luca nods in at the back post. We're going to make the changes once this highlight is over, but we'll just watch it. Doggy does fantastically well with the ball to the back post, but Luca tracks it and goes deep, and you probably wouldn't expect him to score from there. Are you disappointed if you're Nick Pope? Probably. Another highlight. Let's get this one out of the way. I just want to make a substitution, please, game. Newcastle looking to play out from the back. Trips. Plays it forward to Duarte, who finds him. Isaac. Proper threat. Tonali's through, though. Tonali has hit the bar. We'll take that. Probably a slice of good fortune, but one you could argue that we've probably earned. Right. Okay. On you go. Who are you going to go on for, though? Who's the most tired? Gibbs White's absolutely knackered. Gibbs White's going to come off then. Kone's going to come on. In you go. Garner can step forwards. That's absolutely fine. Anybody else dead on their feet? Roy, well and truly knackered. I think I might just have to put Patterson out there, if I'm honest. Because otherwise there's not really many other opportunities to put him out there, is there? Luca's knackered, but he's on a brace. He's probably be furious if I dragged him. I'm going to give him another 10 minutes and see what we can do there in terms of trying to get him his hat-trick. And then hopefully I can make a change there. Yeah, we'll leave that there for the time being. We'll make those 2 changes. And then we'll come back 5-10 minutes and make another couple just to try and keep the lads as fresh as we can. Newcastle on the ball, but Gendry stepped and he's done really well. Looks like he's going to hit the channel himself. He's got Patterson there. He doesn't find him, but he's found Kone. Patterson's inside. Shot from distance and it's gone over. Full-back shot, to be fair, and it was on his left foot. So you can't ask that much from him, can you? Okay, 70 minutes. I'm sorry. You're coming off, though. All right, you are coming off. Franjik's going to come in and play in the on the right side of the fence. I know it's not his preferred position, but I just need somebody who can tackle and do a job. And Loddie's going to go in on the other side. And that will conclude our substitutions business as we try and protect as many bodies as we can whilst being 4-0 up. 80 minutes on the clock. We've got another highlight. Loddy finds Rodriguez. Kone's inside. Can you get a shot off, son? You can. It's fired wide, though. It was a decent shot to be fair, and Kone probably gets a nosebleed being that far forwards. All the stats look really positive for us in this game. It is worth saying that Newcastle, despite having a new manager, are in the bottom 3. So it is a game on paper we should be winning. But with our form, nothing's guaranteed, is it? Loddy driving forwards finds Rodriguez, who again found some space for him. He's lost out. Branthwaite nods it back down though for Loddy. Garner into Kone's feet. Can we play forwards? We can. George doesn't box for Patterson, but finds Patterson in the channel, who loses out. Again, not his preferred position. We've got to give him a break. Kone drives forward. He says, I'll play right wing, Gaff. Rodriguez at the back post, and he nods over. What a great run from Kone. That was really good to see. Full time here at Bramley Moor Dock, and we get the 3 points, but we get it really convincingly. Where's that performance been, is what I would say. Where's that performance been? Well done, lads. Good win for us. An expected one. But again, after the run of form, it's absolutely vital we get the 3 points under our belt. Every game starts 0-0, Max. Don't get, listen, it's a difficult game. Yeah, I think, no, it's not a super. No. I haven't decided that yet, Max. We're not going to talk about days off. The lads need to perform and perform consistently. That puts us back to 4th. Decent, but Arsenal and Tottenham have still to play. So, we're going to be where we're going to be. Again, very, very early to be worrying about league positions. What we are going to talk about now, though, is a significant gap before we come back again. All right? So, we've got quite a few games. What I'm thinking is a Champions League doubleheader, Liverpool and Atalanta. I know we've got Liverpool in the FA Cup. We're destined not to win a cup this season, by the way. So I'm thinking we get all of these out of the way. We're coming to the back end of the transfer window. We play a Champions League doubleheader to see if we can qualify for the playoffs. That's the plan. I will see you in January. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me and listening to me whinge. I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.